So here I am on the west coast again. Just entered the woods, headed to the coast on a small 3-mile trail right at Lake Ozette in Washington State. And
in 500 feet, turn left onto Sandpoint Trail.
Okay, using Gaia GPS for the first time, and I hit start tracking and didn't realize that it was actually going to give me turn-by-turn directions, but I'm going to have to turn that off. But yeah, anyway, so this trip is the North Coast Trail. It's 20 miles long. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it down and back. So 20 miles down the coast, 20 miles back up. They recommended 3 to 4 days for, just one way. But I'm going to try to do, the whole down and back, 40 miles in 4 days. I'll see how that works out with the tidal restrictions. So this is my first day. Just got on trail. It is 11 a.m. Oh, about 11:15 now. But here we go. Oh, just walked out onto the beach from the trail over here. As you can see, all the driftwood gets piled up, some garbage and stuff too, but I just kind of got to overlook it. It's just part of it. But it's supposed to be really nasty out the next 4 days, which is how long I'm going to be out here for. I just passed a couple guys on the trail. They were going to go down to Rialto Beach, which is where I'm headed to. And the forecast was absolutely horrid, so they're actually bailing out and canceling their trip early. So I'm going to push through and see what happens. Guess I can always turn around and go back. But I've been on this trail. I was on this trail about a month ago. Just did part of it to check it out. Didn't get very far, but it was nice. So that's why I figured I'd come back and do the whole thing. But yeah, it's beautiful. Check it out. So far, so good. Rained on me a little bit down on the trail to the beach, but it's let up a little bit. But it's going to be in the 50s this whole trip, and it's supposed to be raining the entire time. So I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. I'm going to venture up on this point here and see how that looks. Well, check this out. Up on this, I guess you could call it a sea stack I'm standing on. It's got lots of nice green grass, but you can see all the sea stacks out there. There's probably some sea lions out there. Looks like there is from here, but it's hard to tell. But they like to hang out there. But yeah, it's real pretty. Pretty long way down there. Yeah. So I'm glad I reached this point when it wasn't raining, so I can come up here and check it out. But yeah, here we go. Not sure if I'm making any of these gulls nervous. There's a bunch of them. They probably don't care anything about me, I'm assuming. Well, let me some of them are taking off. Just, yeah, they really don't care. This little stream, little water source right there. Yep, there they go. I guess I made them a little uncomfortable. Well, they're just heading down the beach just a little more. Sorry guys, I'm coming straight through there. Yeah, they were just hanging out at a little creek. Come down from the beach. There they go. Guess they're all headed off. Yeah, they're just swooping around. Going back to that fresh water source over there so they can get a little drink. But still no rain yet, which is good. I haven't seen anybody out on the beach yet either, so which is really good. I think, let's see, low tide today. It's about 12:30. Low tide today is, I think it's around 3:30 or 4 p.m. Somewhere around in there. So, yeah, the tide's not really favorable to go hiking this week because low tide comes in the afternoon, which a lot of places you can't get around unless it's at low tide. So, might be stuck for a few hours at some points, but I'm gonna make a go of it. Here's one of our low tide crossings. As you can see, all this stuff is covered in kelp, all kinds of seaweed. This stuff is really, really slippery. So it'd be really painful if you went down right here. But just gotta be careful. Don't want to get hurt out here. Have to get rescued. I'm sure that would be really expensive. But just gotta take it easy. There's some osprey flying around, otherwise known as a seahawk. There's several of them out here. You'll see, get a glimpse of them every now and again. And sometimes it's just a huge boulder field along this route. Lots of boulders. At high tide, I bet all that stuff is probably underwater. And occasionally along the beach, you run into some obstacles like this big tree. I've had a couple of these so far where you kind of have to go around and you really got to watch your step on out there on those rocks, because all the seaweed and stuff growing on those is really, really slippery. And obviously you don't want to fall on that. So this one actually I might be able to go under. Yeah, probably. So, yeah, I can get under right there. All these little tidal pools are full of crabs. Let's see if someone go under here, see if I can scare him out. He's not gonna go. There's one over there. Come on, buddy, show yourself. We just want to. You can see them. They'll dive under rocks. See if I can get them. There's some. There's a guy. He's ton of them out there in all these tidal pools. When you walk up on them, they'll run away real quick. Well, this is my first camp setup. We are at, this is Cedar Creek, and here in the woods. Pretty thick woods back there. Nice view of the ocean. But it is a little cold. Cold, windy. And it poured down rain most of the afternoon, as expected. And the hike was pretty brutal. It was over a bunch of rocks. I mean, for several miles. I was just climbing over rocks, real rocky terrain, real slippery. I fell twice. Didn't hurt myself, but I took a couple spills. But I don't know. I need to take it easy tomorrow, I guess. But I don't know. Getting ready to go to bed here. I'm gonna call it a night. So last night and this morning, it's absolutely horrible. It rained. I mean, it poured and blew hard all last night, all this morning. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now. So I actually couldn't even get started until now because I had to wait for the tide. Low tide's not until like 4 o'clock. So I had to wait anyway, just wait at camp. Laid in my tent all morning. I didn't really get going until about 11 o'clock and finally got up and started getting something to eat. But just waiting for it to stop raining, or hoping it was going to stop raining. I had to wait anyway. But yeah, we'll see how today goes. I don't have as many miles to do, just 7. But there's several low tide crossings and actually an overland trail that I've got to take. I'm not sure how long it is. I think it's less than a mile, but there's some points on the coast that you can't get around, so I'll be taking that. But yeah, we'll see how today goes. So far, it quit raining completely, but as you can tell, it looks like it could rain any time. So yeah, here we go. There's a small overland trail. Sorry for the wind, but yeah, it's pretty nice up here. Really breezy. We've got a little bit of sun, but some of these are really tricky because it rained all morning and they're pretty slick. So yeah, now I'm going on my way down. Here's a spot where you have we have a mountain stream draining into the ocean, and sometimes these can be tricky. Sometimes it's easier to go across up there than it is down here. It just depends on where the channel is narrow and where it spreads out. Yep, makes it a little exciting. And it looks like I'm just gonna have to get my feet wet. It's the best spot to go across. The water sure is nasty from all the rain last night. Whew. And it's cold too. Look at that. That's just part of it. But that's about the, I think the 4th stream I've had to cross today. And one earlier than that was pretty scary. It was really moving really fast, and it was really deep, probably about a foot deep, and just roaring through there. And it was pretty creepy. Haven't went so bad, just got my feet wet again. There's these little guys. I've run into a bunch of them. But he doesn't like me poking him, as you can tell. But there's a bunch of them around here. And several of them, this guy's, he's got a couple of rocks off all around him. There's a few more over there. Yeah, right there, right there. In the middle of this boulder field. This is a pretty tough hike, as you can tell. But pretty neat little area. Lots of sea stacks. Of course, we're at low tide, probably the lowest of the day right now. So all this, all these rocks, all that boulder field, that would be underwater any other time of day. Wow, just real pretty area. Probably sea lions hanging out on the other side of those sea stacks. But this afternoon turned out really good. The sun came out. Of course, it quit raining I'm sure there's more rain coming eventually, but it's a much different picture than that downpour we had all morning long. And I just hope I can get to camp, get it set up before the next rain comes through. But I think I've got a couple more miles today. I think three more miles before I get to camp, which these are pretty tough miles, so it takes a little longer than your average 2 miles an hour, so you have to budget for that time. But this hike, because of the tides, you have to do most of your hiking in the afternoon and early evening this time around because of the way the tides are coming. But so far so good. I haven't fallen once today. That's pretty encouraging, considering all the boulder fields that I've had to cross today. And I'm getting ready to cross another one. That looks horrible, but it probably won't be as bad. Some of these crossings, got to get around this big rock here, but it's a huge boulder field I'm in, which can only be passable at a lower tide. Boy, you need much more than this. All this would be underwater. I'm just lucky to catch this at low tide, which you kind of budget for that kind of time. Try to guess at what point you're going to be at a particular spot, so you know if you have a really low area, a low tide crossing, that you could try to be at that point at that particular time. That's what makes these hikes so difficult, is because of the tide. Sometimes you got to wait, and you can't just get out and hike. Gotta wait for the water to let you get out. But still, haven't had any rain yet, but it's obviously coming. There's some more of these old guys. They try to close in and capture their prey. They've actually got a pretty decent grip. You try to pull your trekking pole away. He's holding on pretty tight. But there's a lot of them in here. A few more over here. Right there. There. And there. He's a pretty good sized guy. So he tries to grab my trekking pole. Yeah, got a pretty good grip. Middle of this low tide area. Pretty neat. There's some friendly birds. Hey guys. Which I'll have to look that up. We've got these big red beaks. Alright, I'm not gonna get too close during their day. Probably just fishing in this tidal pool here. So, made it to my final campsite for this evening. It is called Hole in the Wall, but you can't guess why. But that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go check that out. But see if I can't find some campsites up here. But, yeah, the sun's still out. Actually rained on me. Actually, it hailed on me just briefly earlier, but so I went ahead and put my rain gear on because it looked ugly, but it blew over. So anyway, gotta look for the campsites around here. Yeah, here's the hole in the wall. There's some day hikers in there. Doesn't look like there's any campsites on this side of the hole in the wall. But boy, this area is really pretty. There's an overland marker in case you have to take the overland trail. It's a marker for that, to get around this during high tide. So I am at Hole in the Wall, found my campsite, got established, and it is a absolutely beautiful evening. Kind of windy here, but pretty good spot. It's just when the rains come, and they probably will, I'm really exposed. But it's just off the beach, just up above it, as you can see. And the sun's out, and a pretty nice spot. I was able to set my stuff out. It's all it all dried out, most of it, really quick because it's windy and sunny, so it helps a lot. Yeah, so I'm happy with the spot, as long as it doesn't rain. It is about 5:30 in the morning. In order to beat the tide today, I decided to get up early at 3:30, break camp, and of course, right when I started to break camp, it started to rain. So all my gear dried out last night, but it's all wet again this morning. When I say gear, all my, my tent and stuff. But it looks ugly today. Probably gonna rain most of the day, I would say. The rocks are kind of slippery, but got to take it easy on those. But I do have to hustle to beat the tide on several points. So I'm gonna have to get after it and try to make some time. Is either leave early or leave really, really late. And when I say late, like I think it would have been 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I would have had to wait, or 3. It was 3, and I just didn't feel like doing that. So here I go. I'm gonna give it a go. Got a rainbow off in the distance. Here I am back at Cape Johnson again, and this is a 4-foot tide crossing, and tide's coming up right now. But these rocks are like super, super slick, and there's some more rain coming. I see it. It's gonna get bad here in a little bit. Here's something I found that was pretty interesting. This little cave. Check that out. Goes back in there quite a ways. I don't know, maybe several feet. It goes way back in there. Yeah. Might be a good place to hide out of storms. But, well, it looks like the sun has finally made its way out. It quit raining. Some of the worst conditions that I have to hike in. It's unfortunate that I can't really record those, because I mean a lot of people couldn't do that kind of thing, or just wouldn't do that kind of thing. But yeah, it's pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty, but it makes it all worth it when things clear up and you get settled into a campsite. It's pretty fun. But just about there. Made really good time this morning. So my camp is just on the other side of this crossing. And as you can see, this one looks ugly. And it's my last one. So I got about 30 minutes probably. If I don't fall over this stuff. Well, this is my camp for the night. This is called Norwegian Memorial. Pretty nice little camp. I like it. Kind of shielded from the wind a little bit. And yes, that's filtered water. All the tannins and the from the leaves and stuff running out of the mountains down to the ocean. It gets stained, so it looks gross, but it actually tastes good. But it still hasn't rained on me this afternoon. I say afternoon, it's like right at noon. But looks like it's coming, but still hasn't hit me yet. You can see this beach. It's pretty nice, except all the just debris, all the seaweed and stuff swept up on the shore, and all the driftwood. But I'm the only one out here again. Nobody else wanted to do this. So usually this whole place is littered with people during the summer. This is May. This is early May. It's my second time here this year. I was here in early April as well. But yeah, people are few and far between. I remember seeing on the website that there was a lot of people that had reserved camping spots, because you can see how many people have reserved for particular camping areas, designated camping areas, and there were several on all the nights that I was staying here. But I saw one couple last night. They were camping near me, but that's it. I haven't seen anybody today. No one. Big campground. Totally absent of people. Looks like there's an otter out there. Well, there's another one way over there, but they're out there fishing. They're floating on his back. Must be fishing in that kelp out there. Yep, pretty cool. Yep. See him floating on his back. There's another one way over there. Barely make him out. This is where the otters were playing earlier today when I was showing you at high tide. It's amazing how the landscape changes. The tide goes back out. Right there is an osprey, or a seahawk, as they say in Washington State. It is 5:45 in the morning. Got to get an early start. As you can see, this tide is really, really low. Really low. I think it's scheduled to be at its lowest in about 10 minutes, I believe. So today low tide is negative 6 inches. So pretty low tide. But today's high tide is 8 feet. So I've got about 3 hours ahead of me. I've got a low tide crossing. It has to be at least, I think it said 4.5 feet, I believe. And it's a doozy. It's actually, it'd be a whole lot easier if I catch it lower than that, because any higher, you have to climb up on these taller rocks, and they're a real booger to get over. So I'm gonna try to get it at a time where I can go around on the lower rocks, because it's a lot easier, because this one's no fun. But yeah, there's actually a dead whale carcass up here on the beach, up on the rocks over yonder here in about 15 minutes. I remember passing it on the way in, but it was pouring down rain, so I couldn't get out and take a video of it or any pictures. Not that anybody wants to see that, but I wanted to see it to remind myself. I'm just hoping there's no bears feeding on it, but which is a real possibility. So that stands in my way. So we'll see what happens there. There's the whale carcass up there. I was hoping to swing wide, but I'm not going to be able to, so I'm going to get a little up too close for comfort. But you can see all these little crabs running around. I mean, they're everywhere. There's hundreds covering all these rocks. I don't know if you can see them or not. They're all crawling off the rocks when I make a step. There's let's see, is that an osprey or a bald eagle? That's an osprey. You can barely see him in the camera, I'm sure. But yeah, here we go. Got to go around this stupid whale. Poor fella. Yeah, there he is. But I can't go low, so I have to go high. I've just got a few feet to get around him. But poor guy, he's a monster. I caught yellowbanks at a good time. So walking along this bottom edge, all those crustaceans, probably barnacles and stuff, all along that bottom edge. So that way I don't have to climb up on that slippery stuff. That's awful. I had to do that once, but so got it just in time. And that was 5.1 miles this morning, and a brutal 5.1 miles in 2.5 hours. Yeah, 2.5 hours. So all those boulder fields, which that's the worst part of the hike. All those boulder fields between Norwegian Memorial and Yellowbanks. It's absolutely brutal on your feet. They really take a beating. They hurt now. But this beach is awesome. I can see why it's one of the more popular campsites, but there's very few. That's Yellowbanks. Well, this is the end of my coastal trips for this spring. So maybe next year. I've got a 3-mile hike through the woods, back to the car, and it'll be over. So hopefully my next hike, a lot of the snow will be melted in the mountains and I can start hiking there. But I'm looking forward to that. But these coastal hikes are pretty cool. And in early spring, because there's hardly ever anybody out here, and there's no snow. So, until next time.